Okay, so I made a mistake on our last episode. I said that, well, that's the last of the Masterverse first figures I have for now, and I'd forgotten that I actually had another one. I went over to my shelf where I had the figures set up for the upcoming week, where I was going to open up. I will be opening up probably this week and next week. I'll be opening up the Thunderverse. The Masters Universe Thundercats crossover figures. I was going to grab the He-Man figure off the shelf, so I was going to start with He-Man, and I saw her sitting on the shelf. It's Masterverse, Masters Universe, New Etheria, She-Ra. You can't see me. Rouge Hans is here. It says hello, but says that apparently my screen is blank again. Man. And see, like it had been doing so well lately, and I hadn't really thought much about every time I'd been checking the screen and making sure that it's showing up, and there I am, and lo and behold, now all of a sudden it doesn't want to do that. So let's see. Do I have Chrome on my new computer? Because I know the one that came on it was... where is Chrome? I just want to download Chrome. Because I don't want to have to go get up and get my phone again. Yeah, I just want to download Chrome. Right now, I've been working on Microsoft Edge, because ever since I got this new computer, that's the web browser that was on there. But I kind of want to do Chrome just so I can... I'm just going to have to... Oh, you can see me better now? Okay, good. So, man... I don't know. Anyway, so I'd forgotten that I had this figure. Like, I didn't forget that I had this figure, but when I said that, I'd forgotten that I had this figure. And you can see the packaging is not in the best of shape, and that's because it was delivered by Walmart. I ordered it from Walmart, and the Walmart delivery driver decided to just leave it like right in the middle of the driveway. And my friend Joe pulled into the driveway and didn't see it because the it was in the middle of the driveway. He just pulls in the driveway like he would any other time and winds up running over the box. Now, thankfully, it looks like the figure wasn't damaged at all. It looks like the figure was fine. The packaging actually did a good job of protecting the figure, so that's good. But I am kind of irritated that the Walmart delivery driver just left it in the middle of the driveway like that. So here we got in here, if I can get a hold of it. Come on, you. Oh, she's got a red envelope. She's not a bad guy. Not anymore. Rouge Hunt says Walmart Black Friday is on November 16th. Yeah, I guess it is getting to be that time of the year again. It's almost time for me to listen to some Nat King Cole. I mean, you can listen to Nat King Cole any time of the year, but he's like my number one Christmas guy as far as Christmas songs go. So she comes with some solid fists, just like Tila had, and I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of use out of them. Maybe when she's holding the shield, I don't know. And oh, here's her shield, which looks very much like the shield that came with the original figure. Got a little more detail to it. Got like an actual plastic gem on there. I think the original one, it was just the knob where her, where the handle, the little clip that held the shield onto her hand. That's where that was. But she's got actual straps on this one. And then she's got her sword of protection, which is going to look a little different when I get it out. We'll have a look at that. So I'm sure most of you are used to nowadays, the sword of protection looking how it looked on the, the Filmation cartoon. Rouge Hunt says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" Dropping a little Spanish on me there. You know more Spanish than the Robert Pattinson version of Batman, obviously. So yeah, this one is more based though on the sword that came with the original figure. It's got kind of that similar shape to it, but it does kind of put a little bit more of the shape of He-Man's sort of power into it. It almost looks like He-Man's power sword, except for it doesn't have those two little grips on the side. Those were designed. He-Man's sword. Well, I got one right here, so I can show you on Battle Armor He-Man. It was designed so that would be these would be what you would grip when you thrust the sword into the lock for Castle Grayskull, and you would turn it like that. But I guess they left it off of there because She-Ra doesn't need to get into Castle Grayskull. So evil laugh got me, says Rouge Haunts. Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. That's how you do an evil laugh. All right, so let me get the rest of these rubber tabs off of here, and we can go ahead and get her out of the package and have a look at our new Etheria She-Ra. Some people had had some complaints about the head sculpt on this, and honestly, I think the head sculpt is pretty good. I think her face looks pretty nice. I think the main problem, whether or not people want to admit it, is that she doesn't really look like the traditional She-Ra kind of headdress. And they did kind of redesign this a little bit. This one is supposed to look more like the original toy than it's supposed to look like any of the animated versions or anything like that. So the original toy of She-Ra had, Bobby Wald says, the head pops off too easy on the one we have. Well, I'm going to have to, yeah, it came off on mine, but I had to put some effort into it, and I lost a piece off of something. Is that something that broke off of her? Oh, man, I hope it's not something that broke. Yeah, her neck broke. Rushant says, can you please, can you do that? I can't please with the maniacal laugh. So when I went to take her head off, not only did mine, I have to put some actual effort into it, but maybe she did get a little damage when she got run over. But you can see that the neck actually broke there, and it's not going to break to the point where it's like non-functional. And also, I should say that it's going to be mostly hidden by the head and the hair and the cape and everything like that, but I am going to want to glue that back together just because aesthetically I don't know it's there and I want her to look nice. So yeah, she's got that new style of arm articulation that Eva Lynn, because I found my Eva Lynn figure, and the new Eternia Tila has. She has those new thighs that have some more tone to them, and makes her look a little more muscular, a little more athletic. And you can see that, like, this is probably why this thing was so fragile in the first place and why it broke like that, is that she actually is molded in like this slightly translucent plastic to give it kind of a pearlescent edge to it. Now, the original She-Ra figure had a cape that had these sort of frilly shoulder pieces on there out of this kind of sheer material. And then the cape itself was kind of this rainbow foil material, which I'm guessing they don't make anymore. But it was red on the back, and on the outside it had that kind of rainbow foil. Bobby Wald says, I just got my wife the anniversary one that comes with Swift Wind. Is that like an Origins scale? Is that what scale that's in? Because honestly, I hadn't looked into it. I would like to get that figure eventually, but I don't have a whole lot of money to throw around right now. I've got some other issues going on, but good thing I've got a lot of stuff to open up anyway. But yeah, and then the original one had that same sort of sheer sort of fabric for the skirt, and it was pointy like this one, and had a belt that was like a gold kind of foil type belt with some holographic foil on it. So yeah, this one is very much based on that original She-Ra figure. They did put the choker on there, which she had on the animated series, of course. And this headdress is just completely different from anything we've ever seen on She-Ra before. I mean, it's still recognizable as She-Ra. It's still that kind of wing type, that wing type of shape to it, but it looks a little more crystalline to me, I think. Crystalline. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over our articulation. So She-Ra can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt her head kind of quizzically from side to side. The head, in theory, should rotate all the way around, but she's got this long hair and this cape and a lot of other stuff that get in the way. But it can turn back and forth far enough. Like, it can turn back and forth fairly decently far. It is going to kind of push the shoulders of the cape around, and her hair might get kind of caught up. But, it moves enough, I think. The arms, of course, rotate all the way around at the shoulders, but they are going to kind of bump into those shoulder pieces. They are flexible enough that they seem to just kind of move out of the way, which is good. Her arms can raise up to the sides about that far, so that's good. Now, her elbow bent backwards about that far and bends forwards about that far. So she's got about 90 degrees of motion there. She did a little bit better than Teela, so that's good. And then that rotates all the way around. It's just a single joint of articulation, but it does rotate all the way around. So that's nice. And her wrists rotate all the way around and look like they have a horizontal hinge that move the wrists back and forth, which means, unfortunately, there's no held aloft kind of movement to the sword. I know a lot of people really like to have that, but it looks like that is not going to be a feature on her, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get that arm to move back down. I moved it up fairly easily, but moving it back down, it's like really stiff for whatever reason. There, I got it. All right, so she's got that kind of cool Masterverse torso articulation where you can move the torso back and forth. It can lean back about that far, lean forward about that far. Her cape is really short. I just want to point that out. And it got kind of bunched up while it was in the packaging, unfortunately. You can see the wrinkling of it. And it's more of a burgundy kind of color. It's kind of about the same color as the movie version of He-Man. So I kind of wonder if these two would look really good together. By the way, they did do a design of She-Ra as she would have looked if she had been in the Masters of the Universe movie, because they were planning on having her in there at one point, but I guess they decided there were just too many characters and ditched her. But that might make a cool figure. That design of She-Ra, I think, would be really cool. Anyway, she does rotate all the way around at the waist, so that's good. She-Ra can kick up about... Well, she should kick up about that far, but it looks like her thigh is kind of stuck there, like the ball joint isn't quite wanting to move. So I'll try to heat that up with a hairdryer later. But yeah, it seems like the ball joint is just really stiff as far as that goes. And she does have those drop down hips, which is good, because if they ever make a Swiftwind, she'll be able to ride on it. And I don't know if they're ever going to make a Swiftwind in this scale, but if they do, she'll fit on it. If they do, I bet you anything it'll be a Mattel toy store, their online exclusive. But maybe they're planning on making one. Maybe that's why they did that. Who knows? She does have a thigh cut, so the thigh rotates all the way around. There we go. She's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion we get at the knees. She does have boot cuts. The boot rotates all the way around. Her boots are based on the original She-Ra toy boots, but they do have like a little bit of that sort of Crystal Castle kind of aesthetic to them. You see what I'm talking about? And there's a little bit of that on the shield also. But if you think about the sword to shield that she had on the Filmation cartoon, it does look rather like that. Rouge Hunt says, what is the most you can get? The original of the 1910 Batman figure is a prototype, but it's nothing to get worse. I don't know. Do you mean 1990? Was that a typo? I don't know how much the prototypes go for. So, but yeah, I would say anytime you're trying to figure out the value of something, go and look on eBay and see what people are paying for it. Don't look and see what it's listed for. Look and see what people have actually bought it for. Like, look at auctions and things like that. That would be what I would advise as far as trying to figure out what something is worth. That's a good ballpark guide for anybody to look up, really. So I'm going to try to put the shield strap in her hand this time, just to see if I can. But it looks like it's a really small shield strap, so it just, yeah, it's not going to want to go in there. You probably could get it in there with a little bit of effort, but I don't feel like putting effort into it. So instead, I'm going to take her hand off, and I'm going to put the shield onto her arm without the hand on there. And then, like I did with Tila's shield the other day. Then if I can get the arm all the way through here, then I'll just go ahead and put her fist hand in there. And that would be about the only use I can think of for these fists. Joint's a little stiff there, so had to get a little barbaric with it. That's the wrong hand anyway. I picked up the wrong hand. Oh man, this is being tricky, because now the shield's slid back up. So I'm gonna straighten her arm all the way out and see if I can get the whole thing again, get the wrist through that hole. And I'm gonna take this fist hand and pop that in there. And I did get the right one this time, so that's good. And I think that's going to be the best way to get her to hold her shield. If it'll go in there all the way, which it does seem to be like kind of wanting to struggle with me a little bit as far as that goes, but I think I got it. Okay, so there she is with the shield. Now, anybody who's a fan of the cartoon can tell you on the cartoon they do sword to shield, where she turns her sword into a shield, but I like to have her with a sword and a shield, and I say it's magic. I can do whatever I want. So let's go ahead and put the sword in her hand. And like I said, this is a slightly different design of the sword from what a lot of you might be used to, but it is, I think, supposed to be, again, like an homage to the original sword that came with the original figure. She's a really cool looking figure, and I think a lot of people, like when they're being critical of it, are being critical of it because she doesn't look like the cartoon. But she's not supposed to look like the cartoon. She's supposed to look like the original toy. And for those of you who want a figure of She-Ra as she looked in the cartoon, hey, they already made that. So there's that. There's both of them. So we have both of them. I have both of them, and I love them both. I think they're both great. Now, granted, the cartoon version, that's also like the definitive version as far as I'm concerned too. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like I would definitely say that, like, you know, when I think of She-Ra, I think of how she looked on that Filmation cartoon. That's the version that I think of just automatically. And she came with her own parts to kind of make her look a little more like the toy version, if you wanted to do that. So that is you know, a thing you can do. Or, you know, this one I think is a good toy version. That one, I think the toy version for her had a mask, because originally that was the way they intended for her headdress to work, is you turned it upside down and it had a mask piece that covered her face. But it turned out little girls that were in the test group, they didn't like putting the mask on She-Ra. They liked just having her show her pretty face. So that was how they did that. Anyway, this is a really cool figure, and I'm glad I picked her up. I'm glad I was able to get her. And I would say go ahead and pick her up if you see her. Like, even if you don't think you're going to like this figure at first, like, I think she might grow on you. I think she's a really good, this is a really good She-Ra figure. I really like this one. Now, do I like it better than the cartoon design? I don't know, because like I said, that's still fairly definitive for me. But hey, the good part is it looks like their skin color is close enough. I think you could swap around some parts if you wanted to, and maybe even put the more cartoon type head on this body if you really wanted to, and you know, combine various elements from various versions. So that might be fun. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. YouTube likes it when I say like and subscribe, so I like to say like and subscribe, and that way more people see it and they like and subscribe, and you know, we can get it out there into the algorithm, and more people can be watching the show and enjoying the show and interacting with me in the comments and in the chat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, since it's all mashed up, it's we didn't really talk much about the box design, so I guess I'll do that. So this would have been a great portrait of She-Ra if it hadn't been run over. And then we got Mantenna down there. Of course, Mantenna's got a Masterverse figure on the way. Another lovely portrait of She-Ra. They got mashed up. Her face actually looks a lot like the cartoon version there. And there she is transforming. And I got Swift Wind over here. So maybe they are planning on doing Swift Wind. And Cowl. And look at the back with her holding the sword and with the shield. And it says, She-Ra, most powerful woman in the universe. For the honor of Grayskull, She-Ra stands with the powers of New Etheria against the evil horde and protects the boundaries of the universe from invasion. And then the cross-cell artwork we had on here was Terror Claws Skeletor, which I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I actually want to get that figure, and Ninjor, who is an awesome figure, and I love that figure. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, yada, 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 all that other stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about She-Ra, both the character in general and this figure specifically. And we will talk to you next time. Bye. And end the stream.